Hey you guys, it's Ebony Joy. I'm back for the second episode of CocoLove Talking Sex. So before we get started, again, I'll give you my quick disclaimer. I am not a professional and I am not a doctor. I am just a African-American woman that is bisexual and into the polyamorous lifestyle that wanted to open up a platform to give everyone an opportunity in my community to really discuss sex openly, have a good time, and enjoy it. So I'm going to clean this space out with a little bit of erotica, incense, sweet smelling. That's angels and the spirits to clear things out and open it up so we can have a fun discussion. So today's topic is going to be about virginity. So I want to kind of start off from the very beginning. You know, we're talking about sex, but I feel like you can't really have an open and fair conversation about sex without discussing the people who are not having sex. And as we know, there are adults right now who are still virgins. And when I say adults, I mean over 21. Myself, just to give you a little background about how I had sex for the first time. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. I will never take it away. I don't need to redo it, change it, wish I could go back or anything. And I know that there are a lot of people and a lot of women who always wish they could redo their virginity situation. My thing is, don't lose it, give it away. So if you have someone young that may be interested in watching this video, then this is definitely for them. I did not have sex for the first time until I was 24. And I'm really glad that I waited. FYI, I wear glasses. I'll probably be taking them on and off because I have some notes, so I want to make sure that I'm hitting everything, hitting the notes that I want to hit. So you'll see me put these back on. But I had reached a point where I was ready. I wasn't ready before. I just wasn't ready. And so I say to you, first of all, if you are a virgin, don't let anybody pressure you into having sex. Anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's your boyfriend. I don't care if it's your parents. Because we get it from everywhere. Virginity shaming, it should be unacceptable. And so I'm telling you right now, if you are someone who feels like you are being shamed for still being a virgin and you are an adult, you can tell them to kiss your ass. Don't let anybody force you into giving away your virginity or forcing you to lose it because you are not, what's the word I want to look for? I don't know, strong enough to withhold and know that you're ready to have sex when you're ready to have sex. So I wasn't ready. When I was 16, my mother overheard me having a conversation with someone. And this is what I mean by virginity shaming, because my mother did it. And I know my mother was amazing. She was a great mother. But I realized in retrospect that her intent wasn't to shame me. She just got scared. She didn't want me to be a young teenager having sex and end up getting pregnant or something stupid, or getting an STI or something just retarded. She got scared when she overheard this conversation. But I was on the phone with one of my little high school friends at the time talking about sex like I just knew. And I didn't know nothing. And I was saying that how I felt like you should have sex before you get married because you want to know. I mean, so at a young age, I felt like sex was an opportunity for you to explore yourself and explore your partner and know what you like. And so I said, I felt like you should have sex before you get married so that once you get into your marriage, you know that you are you are matched with the partner that can satisfy that particular part of your appetite as well as any other appetite. So I get off the phone and she comes to me, and long story short, she calls me a slut. She tells me that I don't have no business talking about sex. I ended up getting on punishment. Like I was like grounded for like 2 days. It was really stupid. Like she went hardcore on me unnecessarily because I was just stating my opinion. I hadn't had sex and she knew I hadn't had sex. And I didn't think that I should be having sex before, at least before I turned 18. Like I was like, that's crazy. It was unfair. It was a lot going on. Whatever. She's a Leo. I'm a Leo. We just clashed. We had a big blow up. And I was like, you know, I never was one of those kids that was like, oh, I hate my mama. That wasn't it. It was just, I just was astounded at how harsh she was about some small, tiny comment that I was having with another child. But nonetheless, it had an effect on me, but in a completely different way. It made me think about the choice that I was going to make when I did this, because it didn't change my mind. I still felt like you should have sex before you get married. And I don't care, real talk, I don't care what any of you think about this. I believe that you should have sex before you get married, because you can find yourself in a situation where, I mean, there are women right now in relationships who have never had an orgasm and they don't even know. They don't even know that they've never had an orgasm because they've never been with anyone who can give them one. That's horrible. When you experience an orgasm, a vaginal orgasm, and a clitoris orgasm, there's no going back. You start choosing your sex partners based on the energy that you feel between them, because you think that they might be able to give you one or the other or both or several. Woo! Several at the same time. Like, anyway. So, I like I said, my mind never changed, right? And I ended up, but it did slow me down in my choice of when I was going to have sex. And it got to a place where I was like, I want to have sex with somebody who, one, wants to have sex with me, and two, wants to make it about me. It's my virginity. Ladies, gentlemen, your virginity is yours to control, to do with what you want to. So when you are ready, but know that you are ready. Don't pretend that you are ready because your friend had sex and now you think that you should have to. Or all your little female friends have had sex and now you the last one in the group that hasn't. So you're being peer pressured into it. Don't let peer pressure put you in a situation, in a compromising situation, where you end up giving your virginity or not even giving it away, losing your virginity to some knucklehead boy that don't know what he doing. Or to some older man that has preyed on you. Wait. There's nothing wrong with waiting. And don't get me wrong, because I love sex. Love it. Always thought that you should have sex before marriage. Always thought that sex was a gateway to exploring who you are as a person, as a woman, as a man. I just waited until I knew I was ready, because I was scared. Okay? Real talk. One of the reasons why I waited so long is because I was scared. I was like, ugh. Like, I'm supposed to let him put his penis inside of me? Like, it's gonna hurt, right? Because it's a small hole. It's gonna hurt, right? I don't want somebody just sitting on top of me, humping on me, and don't care nothing about the experience with me. I mapped out what I wanted and I waited. And then when I was ready, I handpicked who I wanted to have sex with. Handpicked and delivered. Best experience I ever had. We are still friends to this day. And that was years ago. Years ago. Okay? So I interviewed people. True story. I interviewed 3 different guys. And the one that I picked, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, well, what about our friendship? I knew then that it was about to be worth it. And I told him, well, what about it? We can still be friends. Why does that have to change anything? I'm handpicking you for these reasons. Are you against it? Because if you're against it, that's okay. You could be against it. I'll find somebody else. I'll just wait. It's not that big of a deal. Because once I do have sex, I know I'm going to keep having sex. And he thought about it, got back to me, and the rest is history. So my first time was, it was dope. It was dope. It good head, stroke game on point, stamina. He made it all about me. He had the liquor on deck, the weed on deck, because I've been smoking since I was 18, by the way. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And I want everyone from this point on to know that they have the power. First of all, ladies, your pussy is power. And don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. Period. Don't let these men try to convince you that they have the power over you and that you should give them what they want. No, you don't have to. You can wait as long as you want until you are ready and you are happy. And if it just so happens to be for religious reasons, then so be it. Go ahead. Have your religious reasons. Go with it. If it makes you happy, good. But if it doesn't make you happy and you're thinking about it and you want to have sex, why do you want to have sex? Have you asked yourself why you wanted to have sex? Have you sat down with yourself and decided why it's important to you to have sex right now and who you want to have sex with? Because once you give your virginity away, you cannot get it back. That's why it's so powerful. That's why it's so precious. Because when it's gone, it's gone. Now, you might be able to replicate and redo different sexual experiences, but you will never be able to get that one back. And I wish for everyone to have the same emotional experience that I had. Every time I think about my first time, every time I think about the person that I had sex with for the first time, it makes me smile. I don't regret it at all. And I don't want any of you to regret it. So again, if you know somebody that is a virgin and is talking about having sex or thinking about having sex, make sure that they have put forth the effort to decide what they want and why they want it. And also, I mean, there are other things that you can do too. You know what I mean? You can still, now this is a technicality. Once the hymen is broke, it's like, oh, okay, you're no longer a virgin. I don't believe that. I believe that virginity is a spiritual, it's a physical thing, but I also believe that it's a spiritual thing. And it's once you give it away, that energy, once you give that energy away, that's what you can't get back, that innocence. So choose wisely who you're going to have sex with, because virginity is cool. I used to look around at all the other girls that were having sex like, you don't even remember your first time, do you? You were drunk. And I will admit, I was very judgy. I was. In my mind, I didn't do it out loud to anybody else because I felt like whatever their reason was their reason. But as I got older, okay, literally, as I became older and I got wiser, because I didn't have sex till I was 24, I realized that everybody's reason for doing something is their reason. Just because I might not think that it's the right reason doesn't mean that it's the wrong reason. And so I learned very early on to start to not be as judgmental as I used to be as a child. But I mean, I was a child. And even then as a child, I wasn't as judgmental as others. So I think that that's really important to know that you can get rid of your virginity, enjoy it, feel like you're having a good time, and actually be doing all of those things at the same time. But be careful. Know what you want. And that's the biggest part. Know what you want. Because if you don't get what you want, you can wait. There is power in the pussy. Virginity is cool. It's not a bad thing. And learn how to masturbate. Like, especially women, learn how to masturbate, learn how to touch yourself, learn how to feel what your vagina feels like. Look at it. Look at it. Open your legs and look at yourself so that you have a connection with who you are as a woman physically. Okay? And then stay out of trouble. Don't put yourself in compromising situations where you know you want to hold on to your virginity, but you laid up with some little boy making out. Don't put yourself in compromising situations. You know better. You know what a compromising situation is. Gentlemen, same for you. Don't put yourself in a compromising situation, because once you give your virginity away, you can't give it back. Once you let go of that innocence, you cannot get it back. Okay? Now, there's so many things that you can do once you give it away, though. So, we'll get into all of that later. But, take care of yourselves. Learn your body. Don't rush, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it to rush. And question everybody that you know about their first time. That's what I did. I questioned everybody. How was your first time? Did you like it? Would you do it all over again? And 90% of the people that I talked to all said that they would do it all over again, and that they envied me, that I was still a virgin, that I had not had sex yet, or not even like nothing. I hadn't had nothing, no fingering, no nothing. Now, I had already started masturbating now, so I was well aware of what my body was like. But I didn't give anybody the key to that door until I was ready to give them the key to the door. And you can do the same thing too. All right. So we're going to end episode 1 with a quick love reading. So the way this is going to work, you guys, is this is for you, whoever you are. Whatever card pulls out is specifically for you. So it might not touch everyone, but it'll touch someone. And that's the point, all right? So, what's the love message for this evening, angels? Romance angels, what is the love message for this evening? As you can see, I'm shuffling the cards. And for those of you who are not into this, that's fine. You don't have to be into it. This is for those who are watching that are into it, okay? All right. All right, what do we have? Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So, someone is watching this video right now, and this is speaking directly to them. So I'm going to tell you, your soulmate is coming. They really, really are. But if you want them to come to you, come closer and come faster, take some time to meditate on what you want. Write down what you want in the best person. Write down your perfection. The perfection, the person that will come to you with the most perfection possible. Write it down. If it write it down. If it's you want it to be a woman between 5'4" and 5'7", you want her to have her own money and be financially independent with, her own transportation and a good job, and she doesn't have any kids, or you don't mind if she has kids. Write down a list. You want her to be beautiful to you, but she doesn't necessarily have to be beautiful to the world. You can write down whatever you want and sit and meditate on it. And affirm that you're going to receive the love of your life, that you're going to receive your soulmate, okay? So, this is for you. And that is the end of Coco Love Talking Sex. I will see you guys next week. All right? Sex, peace, and harmony, y'all.